Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, October 27th and it is going to be a story time video for you guys today. I'm going to post this tomorrow, which will be Wednesday for you guys. But I had a rough day. I slept in and that was good for my mental health. I ate some pumpkin bread. I needed protein, so I got a lot of good snacks in my room. So I ate beef jerky, a pepperoni stick, and cashews. Then I worked with my provider, Sarah, and she picked me up at 1. I was doing fine. I was in a great mood, but I internally had some deep emotions, and it doesn't come out when I just see her. Like when things triggers inside of me, then it kind of makes me emotionally cry, and I was keeping my emotions in for the last week, and it sucks to keep my emotions in, but at least I have people to talk to, and it's nice to have support and that I have in-person support that will help me and manage my emotions, and for someone to hear my point of view and just to be ears to listen to. So I was very angry and very agitated just from stuff happening about my life. I'm not gonna go too personal for you guys, but I was definitely upset, and I know I broke down crying really badly when I was with Sarah in her car because we were going to Council Crest in Portland, Oregon. So we did that, but we got lost a lot of times because that neighborhood is just so windy and her GPS was not working. So we had to switch back like 10 times, and it made me laugh too. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, all the crazy adventures I'm with Sarah. It's kind of funny how we just have our own adventures. And then we went to the park, and it was such a good moment just to be in fresh air because I needed it, and to explore a new park I haven't been to. Lots of good hiking trails, and Council Crest is such a good neighborhood to walk in. So many people were out, and I decided to hike down a little trail, and I was still emotional. I was emotional the whole entire day. I was crying, and I was mad. Like, internally, I was mad, and I was using my big tone of voice of just like, I want you to hear me, I'm suffering, and it was just a lot of breakdown sessions of crying. And that lasted a while, and my emotions are on fire today, and it was just an explosion, and she was there to listen to my concerns and there for support and gave me advice, and it was just really good to just have her listen to me because I needed that support. And it was kind of like sad that I was feeling so depressed, and I did create a scene. I know people recognize that I was upset. They didn't come up to me, which was great, because sometimes when I'm in the community and I'm upset and I draw attention to us, it's like something's happening between us, or like I feel not settled. I don't feel relaxed. I feel amped up and angry inside of me, and it was hard to express myself to Sarah. So that was part of the reason I was emotional, and I worked it out, and it was not at her. I was just trying to get my frustration out, and that was just by using my tone of voice, just getting angry, and it was tough. And we went down a trail, we had a good talk, and then on the way up, we approached someone, and he knew just from my tone of voice when I was talking to Sarah, and I was just mad, and I was just like, I need to do this tomorrow, and I need to do this, and it's not working, and so many problems I was telling Sarah about. And when we were hiking up the trail, there was a guy ahead of us, and he just began that trail too, and he knew that something was happening. And it's good to have people in the community that knows that something's happening between me and someone else, or I'm not doing well. So he actually walked the other way on the other trailhead to give us some space because he knew maybe I had a disorder, or maybe he knew I had autism. And it's good to have people just branch away that gives us space to talk. And I was upset on the trail up too. I was emotional and stuff. And when we walked to the top of the trailhead, it was like maybe 10 minutes later, we approached the guy who gave us some space and knew that I had a problem. And he didn't intervene, and I'm glad that he didn't intervene because I think he knew that my provider was there to help me, and it's good that he left us alone because I think he was worried for me too. And it was just a stranger just hiking along the trail, and he was nice, but I just think he wanted to respect my boundaries, and he wanted to not get involved in all the frustration I'm going through. And I think maybe he has thought that I had a mental issue going on, and it was good that he just left us alone. And when we also arrived to the top, we saw a older lady with a Dalmatian, and one thing after another, the dog was in pain, and the lady was very upset that her dog was not moving, and she said to Sarah, "Can you call someone for me to pick us up from the park?" And that was on top of Council Crest. And Sarah was a really good citizen and called 3 or 4 phone numbers for her to try and have someone pick her up because the dog was in pain. And I could tell from looking at the dog. The dog was shaking, he was sitting down, but he was uncomfortable. He was quiet and innocent, but you can tell he was in pain. And then Sarah was trying to help her. I was just sitting on the curb of the sidewalk and just letting them do their own thing. And I'm glad Sarah helped her. And she said, "Try this phone number, try and text him." Well, I have another phone number. She didn't have her phone on her, but it was just very stressful to just be in that situation. And then Sarah offered her and the dog a ride, like saying, "Hey, do you live close?" And she didn't look threatening. And Sarah went through the checklist and said, "I feel safe, you're with me." Like, she seemed like a really friendly person. So she offered to drive her home with the dog. And then she said, "Yeah, it would be great if you did." And then we hiked up another flight of stairs to the very top of Council Crest where our car was parked. And Sarah drove down the hill, and then we saw the dog and the owner again. And we pulled on the side of the road, and then we put the hazard lights on, and then Sarah got out of her car. I stayed in the front seat just to watch the scenario happen, but the dog was moving a little bit and limping, and I could tell the dog was seriously hurt, like internally, like something was wrong, like maybe a bladder infection, or maybe a broken leg or stretched muscle. I could tell something was seriously wrong. And the dog was quiet and couldn't move. So the dog was somewhat walking a little bit around the grass sniffing, and then the owner said to Sarah again, "Hey, can you try these phone numbers? I don't want to bother you. I don't want to intervene and stuff." So Sarah again called, and no one answered, and then the owner said, "I'll be fine, thank you for offering, but I think we'll be fine. The dog is moving, so I think we'll be home in a few minutes down the hill." So then they walked home, and then it was such a eye-opening experience because I didn't know I was going to be emotional, I was going to have a rough day with Sarah, and then it turned out really happy too because Sarah listened to me and she helped me. And then just from that emotional experience to the guy who left us some space climbing up the trailhead because he knew I was suffering, and then just from that to the dog, it was like so many back-to-back things. I was like, oh my god, when's this day gonna get over with? It was hard to process the day because I couldn't like imagine just like, oh my gosh, my brain is already in overload with me, and then in the community it's like, oh, top this, these two things are gonna happen back to back. But then we went shopping. I had to get some more produce, and I got ribs and blueberry muffins I'm gonna make with Sarah next week at her house. And we didn't decide to cook this week. I decided to cook with her next week and cook like 2 or 3 things with her just to bring out after the park. So I'm gonna be cooking with her on next Tuesday at her house. So that'll be fun to do that, and I'm glad I got some staples that I needed to live, because I was like, I'm running out of food, and it's like, I was like, yeah, just splurge on some food, and that was nice because I got ribs, and the ribs were $15, so I was happy I got all the baking supplies and stuff for next week. But just overall, this day was really nice, but it was very, very extra emotional. I couldn't manage my attitude and my negative energy. It was very internal. And Sarah did listen, which is what I needed, is that. And she knew I was having a rough time. But I said, I want to show you all the positive things I've been doing, and family life at home right now is very hard. Just because there's so many changes happening in my family right now too, and it's just like, my grandma broke 4 ribs. Now she's in a rehab center, and she was in a hospital for a week, and she can't breathe, and she's on oxygen, and she's healing, but that's hard on her, and that's been almost 2 weeks of that, and just some stuff going on with my mom and my dad that I'm not going to say much about, but just family is very important, and I just wanted to chit-chat with you guys just to get my feelings out, and I'm so emotional thinking about the day. But Sarah knew. She didn't take it personally. I just had to vent to her. I just needed to get my frustration out, because if it builds up, then I have no outlet to get frustrated and do something with it. So, yeah. Being autistic is hard. It's exhausting. I'm just exhausted because of my emotions. And a lot of a stern voice of just like how angry I was, because I need to express how I feel, and sometimes I'm angry and I have to just kind of use my voice just to express how angry I am, and that's better than hurting myself. So that's something in the right direction. But again, I know there's still a lot of learning to do today, and from every day I work with my providers in the community, and being in the community is hard right now, and it's just not fun to feel all the things I am feeling. And we went to Fred Meyer's after the park. Like I said, we went shopping for cooking supplies next week, and we parked in the Fred Meyer's downtown, and it was on Burnside Street, and it was a big parking lot in the basement, and I haven't been there before, but that was bad too. We parked the car, we opened our car doors, and a horrific smell. Very bad smell. I was gagging in my mask. I thought I was gonna throw up in my mask because the scent was very strong, and a lot of homeless people go there and they don't really keep it that clean, and the smell was, bad. I'm so glad I didn't throw up, but going from the parking garage in the store basement, I was like gagging like 15, 20 times. I literally, again, acid reflux, that is an automated thing I can't help. And I was born like that too. Like, any little smell can tick me off, and my body's reaction is to throw up and gag, and I literally thought I was gonna gag and throw up, but that didn't happen. And then going from the basement store to the car, I had my mask on, I did this, and it breathed through my mouth. And then I put my 2 bags of groceries in her car, and then she put her bag of groceries in this car, and then I went in the car. But that smell was horrific. I didn't know what to do, but again, my senses are very heightened right now, and I become emotional like that very fast. But I wanted to explain about my day, and I had a great day with her. I had a great time with Sarah in the afternoon. I only spent 5 hours with her when I worked with her, but it was such a good day. Nice weather. We were out in the community exploring. We got to see a new park. I got cooking supplies. We talked, and it was nice to just have support in the community again. So that was my day, and I just wanted to tell you about it. So thank you for watching, but everyone is not perfect. I know there's still problems that are in my life, and I want to fix it, but this takes a lot of time right now to really understand what I'm going through and what my body's going through too, because my body's trying to protect me, and sometimes my protective mode is tense up. I'm like frozen, and it's an automated thing that my body does. So just like the yelling or just like the hitting myself, it's just an automated thing. But today, as you're watching this, I'm gonna see Jenny. So I have another big day tomorrow. I tried to also call the DMV today and to renew my license, because my license expires in a few months, and with the virus going on, I can't get an appointment. I have to check every month to get my appointment in, and anyways, I called. I was like, okay, I'll do this with Jenny tomorrow, and tomorrow I have a lot of errands to do with Jenny, and we're going to see a park too and have fun, but make homemade applesauce, but it's going to be a busy day, so I hope I'm not as exhausted as today, but I did sleep in today, which was nice. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.